Hello there, and welcome to the Dozing Explorer. I'm so glad that you have found your way here, to this quiet and restful place in the deep of the night. The world has settled into its profound nocturnal stillness, and this is an invitation for you to do the same. Let the weight of the day dissolve into the darkness. Feel the gentle, steady rhythm of your own breath, and let it be the soft drumbeat that guides you away from the shore of waking thought and out into the calm, quiet ocean of sleep. There is nothing you need to do and nowhere you need to be, but right here in this peaceful moment. Tonight, we are going on a gentle and speculative journey. We will not be exploring the facts of what is, but the beautiful and sleepy possibilities of what if. We will drift into a quiet, cosmic dream and wonder what the universe would be like if wormholes connected distant galaxies. This is not a story of science fiction adventure, but a gentle, speculative poem about a cosmos woven together with silent, shimmering doorways. We will imagine what it would be like to take a quiet, cosmic shortcut to fold the vast fabric of space-time and to arrive on a distant and peaceful shore in a single, gentle step. We will imagine the entrance to these pathways not as a swirling vortex, but as the calm, shimmering surface of a silent pond. We will drift through tunnels of bent and beautiful starlight and emerge into skies filled with strange and wonderful new constellations. We will explore the idea of a universe that is not a collection of lonely, isolated islands, but a single, vast and interconnected neighborhood filled with secret passages and quiet, hidden connections. The purpose of this journey is to fill your mind with a sense of gentle, expansive, and dreamlike wonder, to give your thoughts a beautiful and peaceful place to play as you drift off to sleep. And if this gentle, cosmic dreaming helps you find your own deep and restorative rest, you might consider subscribing. It is a quiet and simple gesture that helps other weary travelers of the night find their way to this peaceful harbor to join our quiet community of drifters and dreamers. It is just a soft thought to hold for a moment and then to let go of as all your other thoughts. For now, your only task is to rest. There are no facts to memorize, no theories to grasp. There is only the gentle invitation to wonder and to dream. Let your mind be as soft and as flexible as the fabric of space-time we are about to explore. If my voice becomes a distant, fading hum, that is a wonderful thing. Let yourself drift through these quiet cosmic passages as our gentle, speculative journey begins. Imagine the universe not as a vast, flat plane, but as a soft, flexible fabric. This is the beautiful and foundational idea of Einstein's theory of general relativity. It asks us to let go of our notion of an empty, rigid, and unchanging space, and to instead imagine a dynamic and responsive medium. Think of it as a great, dark, and infinitely large sheet of the softest, most pliable silk, stretching out in every direction. The stars and the galaxies are not just sitting in this fabric, they are resting on it, and their immense mass creates gentle, sloping curves and dips in the material, like heavy marbles resting on the silk. The planets then follow these gentle, sloping curves, a path we call an orbit. This fabric, this space-time, is the very substance of our reality. It is not a passive stage, but an active, flowing, and flexible participant in the great, silent, cosmic dance. To understand a wormhole, we must first begin with this idea of a world that is soft, yielding, and beautifully, gently foldable. A wormhole is a gentle, theoretical fold in this fabric of space-time. Now that we have this image of a soft and flexible cosmic silk, we can begin to imagine new and beautiful possibilities. A wormhole is the quiet and profound suggestion that this fabric might not only curve, but that it might also be able to be folded. Imagine taking two very distant points on our great silken sheet. To travel between them on the surface would be a long and patient journey. But what if you could gently take the great sheet of the universe and fold it over so that the two distant points were now right on top of each other, separated by only a small vertical gap. A wormhole is the theoretical and beautiful idea of a gentle tunnel, a quiet and stable bridge that could be opened between these two now adjacent layers. It is a profound and gentle reimagining of the very nature of distance itself, a quiet and beautiful whisper that the shortest path between 2 points may not be a straight line, but a gentle, graceful, and almost magical fold. It is a quiet cosmic shortcut, a way to travel 1,000,000 years of distance in a single, gentle step. The true and beautiful wonder of a wormhole is its ability to connect the impossibly distant. Imagine two galaxies separated by millions of light years of cold, dark, and empty space. The journey between them, traveling at the speed of light, would be a journey of immense and lonely time.
A wormhole bypasses this distance entirely.
It does not require you to travel through the intervening space, but to step around it. It suggests that the vastness of the universe might be a kind of beautiful illusion, a trick of perspective. It suggests that the great cosmic ocean might be filled with secret, quiet, and instantaneous currents that can carry a traveler from one shore to another in the blink of an eye. It is a beautiful and deeply peaceful thought, the idea of a universe where the great, isolating distances can be gently and quietly overcome. Think of the universe as a sheet of paper. A wormhole is like folding the paper to touch two distant points. Let us rest with this simple and beautiful analogy. Take a flat sheet of paper in your mind and draw a single dot on the left side and another single dot on the right side. The distance between them, as measured on the surface of the paper, is long. Now, gently and slowly fold the paper in half, so that the two dots are perfectly aligned, one directly above the other. They are now incredibly close, separated only by the thin air between the folds. Now imagine you could gently push a soft, hollow tube, a tiny, quiet straw through the paper, connecting the two dots. This is the wormhole. You have not changed the distance on the surface of the paper, but you have created a new and profoundly shorter path.
It is a simple, elegant, and deeply peaceful idea, a quiet and beautiful piece of cosmic origami. This idea was born from the same beautiful equations that describe gravity and the bending of starlight.
The concept of a wormhole is not a fantasy that has been invented out of thin air. It is a real and beautiful mathematical possibility that emerges quite naturally from Albert Einstein's equations of general relativity. These are the very same, well-tested, and profoundly accurate equations that predict the gentle, gravitational bending of starlight around the Sun, the subtle and quiet wobbling of the orbit of Mercury, and the beautiful silent ripples of gravitational waves. The fact that these same powerful equations also contain within them the quiet and gentle possibility of these strange cosmic tunnels is a source of deep and profound wonder. It is as if the universe, in its very mathematical blueprint, has left a quiet and beautiful hint of its own, hidden and magical possibilities. It is sometimes called an Einstein-Rosen bridge, a quiet and theoretical connection between two places. This was the original scientific name for the concept. In 1935, Albert Einstein and his colleague Nathan Rosen were exploring the strange mathematical implications of a black hole, and they found that the equations could be extended to describe a kind of bridge, or a tunnel that could connect our universe to another, parallel one. While our modern understanding of a wormhole is more as a tunnel through our own space, the original idea was one of a quiet and beautiful connection between two separate but equally real realities. It is a gentle and profound thought, the idea that our universe may not be the only one, and that the laws of physics themselves may contain a quiet and beautiful description of the gentle and theoretical bridges that could, in principle, connect them. A wormhole would have two mouths, two gentle, circular doorways in space-time. The architecture of a wormhole is a thing of simple and beautiful symmetry. It is a tunnel with two ends, Each end, as it appears in our normal three-dimensional space, would be a spherical two-dimensional surface. We call these the mouths of the wormhole. They are the doorways. One mouth could be here, in our own Milky Way galaxy, floating silently in the space between the stars. And the other mouth could be in the Andromeda galaxy, 2.5 million light-years away. They are two distinct and separate locations, but they are joined by the quiet and hidden geometry of the wormhole itself. To pass through one mouth is to instantly and gently emerge from the other. They are the two quiet and beautiful ends of a single, cosmic and magical thread. These two mouths could be separated by a few feet or by the distance of an entire galaxy. The beautiful and strange thing about a wormhole is that the distance between the two mouths on the outside, in our normal space, has no relationship to the length of the tunnel on the inside. You could have a wormhole whose throat is only a few feet long, but whose two mouths are separated by a distance of billions of light years. It is a quiet and profound violation of our normal intuitive sense of space. It suggests that the universe has a hidden and complex topology, a secret and beautiful set of connections that are completely independent of the apparent visual distances that we see. It is a quiet and gentle reminder that the universe is a far more strange and wonderfully interconnected place than we can possibly imagine. The path that connects these two doorways is called the throat of the wormhole. This is the gentle and beautiful name that physicists have given to the tunnel itself. It is a place that is not quite a part of our normal three-dimensional universe. It is a higher dimensional shortcut, a quiet and hidden passage through the bulk of space-time. To travel through the throat of a wormhole would be to take a journey that is not a journey through space, but a journey around it. It is a quiet and beautiful theoretical place, a realm of pure and strange geometry, a silent and peaceful corridor that connects the impossibly distant. It is the gentle and quiet heart of this beautiful and wondrous cosmic possibility. The entrance to a wormhole might not be a swirling vortex, but a perfect, calm, and shimmering sphere. Our fictions have often imagined the entrance to a wormhole as a violent and chaotic vortex, a great and dangerous whirlpool in space. But the gentle and beautiful mathematics of the theory suggests something much more quiet and serene. The mouth of a stable wormhole might appear as a perfect, calm, and undisturbed sphere. It might be invisible, or it might act as a strange and beautiful spherical mirror, reflecting the light of the surrounding stars in distorted and wonderful ways. It would not be a place of violence, but a place of strange and profound stillness. It would be a quiet and perfect cosmic scale soap bubble, a fragile and shimmering gateway to another place, floating silently and peacefully in the dark. It could look like a silent,
floating bubble, reflecting the starlight around it in strange and beautiful ways.
Imagine floating in space and coming across such an object. It would be a perfect dark sphere, but its surface would be a perfect and distorting mirror. The constellations behind it would be bent and warped as their light passed through its curved space-time, and the constellations in front of it would be reflected on its surface in a strange, beautiful, and fisheye lens perspective. It would be a quiet and profound piece of cosmic art, a natural sculpture that has been created by the strange and beautiful bending of space-time itself. It would be a quiet and gentle signpost, a silent and shimmering invitation to a journey beyond all imagining. To keep this gentle tunnel open, physics suggests we would need a strange and quiet substance. The simple wormhole described by Einstein and Rosen has a small and gentle problem. It is not traversable. The throat of the wormhole opens and closes so quickly that nothing, not even a beam of light, would have time to pass through it. So, for a wormhole to be a true and stable bridge, something would be needed to prop it open. Physicists have theorized that this would require a strange and wonderful new kind of matter or energy, something that has a gentle and repulsive gravitational property. This is what is known as exotic matter. It would be a quiet and beautiful, and so far completely theoretical, substance that has a kind of gentle, anti-gravitational nature. This exotic matter would be a gentle cosmic scaffolding, holding the doorway open against the quiet pressure of space-time. Imagine the throat of a wormhole as a beautiful and delicate tunnel made of soap film. Without some kind of support, it would instantly collapse in on itself. This exotic matter would act as the gentle and quiet internal scaffolding for this tunnel. Its strange, repulsive gravity would gently and quietly push outwards, perfectly balancing the natural tendency of the tunnel to collapse. It would be the quiet and invisible architect, the gentle and unseen engineer, that would turn a fleeting and unstable mathematical curiosity into a stable, enduring, and beautiful cosmic passageway. It is the quiet and theoretical key that unlocks the gentle and beautiful possibility of a traversable wormhole. It is a substance with a gentle, anti-gravitational property, a quiet and theoretical opposite to the weight of the world. All the matter and energy that we know of has a positive, attractive gravity. It pulls things together. This exotic matter would have a negative gravitational mass. It would be a substance that in a sense has a gentle and quiet anti-weight. It would gently and quietly push things apart. We have never seen or detected such a substance, and it may not exist in our universe, but it is a beautiful and quiet mathematical possibility, and it is a gentle and profound thought that for the universe to have these beautiful and connective shortcuts, it might first need to have a substance that is the perfect, gentle, and quiet opposite of all of the heavy and familiar matter that we know. For now, Wormholes are a beautiful poem written in the language of mathematics. It is important to rest with this quiet and beautiful truth. Wormholes are not a proven fact of our universe. They are a deep, beautiful, and profoundly consistent solution to our best and most elegant equations of space-time. They are, in a sense, a beautiful and powerful dream that the theory of general relativity is having. They are a quiet and gentle what-if, a possibility that is so strange, so beautiful, and so profound that it captures our imagination. To contemplate a wormhole is not to contemplate a piece of technology, but to contemplate a piece of deep and beautiful mathematical poetry, a quiet and serene verse in the great cosmic song of what is possible. They are a quiet and gentle possibility that the laws of our universe seem to allow. The laws of physics are like the grammar of the universe's language, and the existence of wormholes as a mathematical solution tells us that the sentence, "A quiet and gentle tunnel can connect two distant places," is a grammatically correct sentence in the language of the cosmos. It does not mean that the universe has ever chosen to speak this sentence, but it means that it could. The very possibility is a thing of deep and quiet wonder. It suggests that the fundamental rules of our reality are far more strange, more permissive, and more full of gentle and beautiful magic than our everyday experience would suggest. They represent a deep and peaceful connection hidden within the fabric of reality. The idea of a wormhole is, at its heart, an idea about connection. It is the idea that our universe is not a disconnected and fragmented place, but a single, unified, and deeply interwoven whole. It is the idea that the vast, isolating distances of the cosmos might be an illusion, and that beneath the surface of our apparent reality, there is a deeper and more profound level of quiet, gentle, and instantaneous connection. A wormhole is a beautiful and powerful symbol of this hidden unity, a quiet and gentle promise that all things are, in some deep and mysterious way, part of a single, beautiful, and interconnected being. The geometry of a wormhole is one of a smooth, graceful, and continuous curve. A wormhole is not a violent tear or a jagged rip in the fabric of space-time. The mathematics that describe it are smooth, continuous, and elegant. Imagine two gentle and trumpet-like bells joined together at their narrowest points. This is the beautiful and quiet shape of a simple wormhole's geometry. It is a form of pure, graceful, and unbroken curvature. It is a natural and beautiful shape, a quiet and elegant sculpture that has been carved out of the very substance of space-time itself. It is a testament to the fact that even the strangest and most wonderful of cosmic possibilities are governed by a deep, underlying, and profoundly beautiful mathematical grace. It is not a tearing of space, but a gentle and elegant reshaping of it. Let your mind rest on this quiet and peaceful image. The creation of a wormhole is not an act of destruction, but an act of profound and gentle, cosmic art. It is the act of taking the existing fabric of reality and simply, quietly, and gracefully, folding it into a new and more beautiful and more interesting shape. It is a form of cosmic origami, a way of revealing the hidden connective potential that was always quietly and peacefully latent within the original flat sheet. It is a quiet and beautiful reminder that the universe is not a static and unchanging thing, but a place of infinite, gentle, and creative potential. The idea of a wormhole is a quiet invitation to see the universe as a more interconnected place. It is a gentle and beautiful challenge to our sense of cosmic loneliness. The image of the galaxies as lonely, isolated islands separated by uncrossable oceans of space is a somber and a quiet one. But the idea of a wormhole is a quiet and hopeful whisper that perhaps this is not the whole story. It is the suggestion that there may be hidden, secret, and gentle bridges that connect these islands. It is an invitation to imagine the universe not as a vast and lonely archipelago, but as a single, great, and wonderfully interconnected continent, a place where all the distant shores are, in some deep and secret way, quietly and gently touching. It suggests that the vast, empty spaces may not be as empty as they seem. We look out at the great, dark voids between the galaxies, and we see a profound and perfect nothingness. But the idea of a wormhole suggests that these empty spaces may be filled with a quiet and hidden potential. They may be the places where the fabric of space-time is at its most calm, its most flat, and therefore its most gently and easily foldable. The great empty spaces of the cosmos may not be a sign of absence, but a sign of possibility. They may be the quiet, dark, and peaceful fields where these strange, beautiful, and connective cosmic flowers are most likely to bloom. They may be filled with the quiet, sleeping potential for these hidden, gentle pathways. Imagine the universe as a great, dark, and fertile soil. The galaxies are the bright and beautiful flowers that have bloomed on its surface. But deep within the soil, there is another hidden network, a quiet and sleeping web of potential connections, a mycelial network of cosmic possibility. A wormhole is the quiet and beautiful idea that this hidden network could, under the right conditions, send up its own strange and beautiful fruit. It is the idea that the universe is not just what we can see on the surface, but is also a place of deep, hidden, and profoundly gentle, sleeping potential. The physics of a wormhole is a journey into the very shape and texture of reality. To contemplate a wormhole is to ask the deepest and most gentle of all questions. What is space? What is distance? What is the true underlying shape of the universe we are a part of? The idea of a wormhole is a beautiful and powerful tool for thinking about these quiet and profound questions. It is a gentle and playful way of pushing our understanding of geometry and of gravity to its very limits. It is a quiet and beautiful journey to the very edge of what we know, a peaceful and wondrous meditation on the fundamental and deeply mysterious texture of our world. It is a quiet and profound question about the true nature of distance. A wormhole suggests that there are two kinds of distance in our universe. There is the long, slow, and familiar distance that we can measure with a ruler or with a beam of light. But there may also be a second, deeper, and more quiet kind of distance, a topological distance, that is defined by the hidden connective shape of space-time itself. And in this deeper, more fundamental geography, Two points that are billions of light years apart in the familiar sense could be quiet and gentle neighbors in the truest sense. It is a beautiful and peaceful thought that the universe may have a secret and much more intimate geometry than the one we can see with our eyes. A wormhole is a gentle what if, a dream that our universe might be having. It is a quiet and beautiful question that physics asks of reality, and the fact that our equations allow for such a strange and wonderful answer is a thing of deep and profound beauty. It is as if the universe, in its own deep and quiet way, is dreaming of being a more connected and a more magical place. To fall asleep and to dream is to participate in our own small and personal version of this great cosmic act of imagination. And to dream of a wormhole is to dream a dream that is in perfect, quiet, and gentle harmony with the deepest and most beautiful dreams of the cosmos itself. Its existence would mean the universe is a smaller, cozier, and more intimate place. The universe we see is a place of vast, cold, and intimidating scales. The distances are so great that they inspire a sense of lonely and profound awe. But a universe with wormholes would be a different kind of place. It would still be vast, but it would also be intimate. It would be a great and sprawling mansion, but a mansion that is filled with secret, connecting passages that make every room feel like it is just next door. It would be a universe where the concept of far away is a more gentle and a more relative idea. It would be a cozier and more friendly cosmos, a quiet and beautiful home that is, in a very real sense, much smaller than it looks. The theory is not a story of loud machines, but of the silent, elegant properties of space and time. A wormhole is not a piece of technology that we must build. In its purest and most beautiful form, it is a natural feature of the cosmos, a quiet and gentle possibility that has been written into the very laws of nature. It is a story not of loud and powerful engines, but of the silent, graceful, and almost magical properties of space-time itself. It is a testament to the idea that the universe may contain within it a kind of natural, gentle, and quiet magic that is far more profound and far more beautiful than any machine we could ever hope to construct. To contemplate a wormhole is to contemplate the universe as a place of hidden, beautiful secrets. It is a quiet and gentle reminder that the world is not always as it seems on the surface. It is an invitation to believe that there is a deeper, more mysterious, and more wonderfully interconnected layer to reality. It is a beautiful and peaceful thought that the universe still holds its secrets, that there are still great, quiet, and profound wonders waiting to be discovered. To contemplate a wormhole is to be filled with a sense of gentle and hopeful mystery, a quiet and beautiful assurance that the story of the cosmos is far from over. They are a quiet and hopeful possibility, a gentle whisper in the equations of the cosmos. The equations of general relativity are the great cosmic poem of gravity, and the wormhole solution is a single, quiet, and beautiful verse in that poem. It is a verse that speaks of connection, of shortcuts, and of a universe that is more strange and more gentle than we had ever dared to imagine. It is a hopeful verse, a whisper of a possibility that the great isolating distances of the cosmos are not as permanent as they seem. It is a quiet and gentle idea, a beautiful and profoundly sleepy thought to rest with as you let your own mind drift into the gentle and mysterious passages of your own dreams. The shape of a wormhole is a shape of pure, peaceful, and profound geometry. It is a sculpture made not of matter, but of the very fabric of space-time itself. It is a form that is defined by the most elegant and beautiful of all languages, the language of mathematics. To trace the shape of a wormhole in your mind is to trace a path of pure, quiet, and perfect curvature. It is to contemplate a form that is as simple and as profound as a circle, as a sphere, or as a spiral. It is a quiet and beautiful piece of cosmic architecture, a serene and perfect temple built out of the very substance of reality itself, a place of pure, silent, and deeply peaceful geometry. It is a theoretical place where the rules of distance are gently and quietly suspended. In our everyday lives, we are bound by the simple and unyielding rules of distance. To get from one place to another, we must travel through the space that separates them. But a wormhole is a quiet and gentle exception to this rule. It is a small and beautiful pocket of the universe where this law is placed in a state of peaceful and temporary suspension. It is a place where here and there can become the same place. It is a quiet and profound reminder that the rules of our reality as we know them may not be the only rules, and that the universe may have its own beautiful, gentle, and secret exceptions. The idea of a stable wormhole is a quiet and beautiful challenge to our understanding of energy. The theoretical need for exotic matter to hold a wormhole open is one of the deepest and most gentle puzzles in all of physics. It is a quiet and profound hint that our understanding of matter and energy may be incomplete. It suggests that there may be new, strange, and beautiful forms of being in our universe that we have not yet discovered. It is not a roadblock, but a beautiful and quiet signpost pointing us towards a deeper and more profound understanding of the fundamental nature of our world. It is a gentle and beautiful invitation to dream of new and wonderful kinds of substance. It is a doorway not just between places, but between what we know and what we can only imagine. A wormhole is a perfect and beautiful symbol of the boundary between the known and the unknown. It is a quiet and gentle threshold. On one side, we have the familiar, beautiful, and well-understood universe that we can see with our telescopes. On the other side, we have a realm of pure and beautiful possibility, a world of strange geometries and new kinds of energy. To contemplate a wormhole is to stand peacefully at this threshold, to look with a sense of quiet and gentle wonder into the vast and beautiful mystery of what might be. The concept is a source of deep, gentle, and profoundly peaceful wonder. There are some ideas in science that are so strange, so beautiful, and so profound that their primary purpose is to inspire a sense of awe. The wormhole is one of these ideas. To let your mind drift on the possibility of these quiet, cosmic shortcuts is to be filled with a sense of the universe's infinite, gentle, and beautiful creativity. It is a quiet and wonderful way to let go of the small and the mundane, and to connect with a sense of the vast, the mysterious, and the deeply, deeply peaceful. It is a quiet and beautiful dream of a deeply connected cosmos. Let this be the final resting thought on the nature of these gentle objects. The dream of a wormhole is the dream of a universe without true separation. It is the dream of a universe where every point is, in some deep and secret way, connected to every other point. It is the dream of a universe that is not a vast and lonely expanse, but a single, unified, and intimately woven whole. It is a quiet, beautiful, and deeply comforting dream. And it is a perfect and peaceful dream to hold in your mind as you now let go of all your thoughts and allow yourself to drift into the quiet, dark, and beautiful passages of your own deep sleep. To enter a wormhole might feel like dipping your hand into a perfectly still and silent pond. Imagine the entrance to this cosmic passage not as a place of violent energy, but of profound and perfect calm. It would be a sphere of pure, featureless blackness, or perhaps a shimmering, mirror-like surface. To pass through it would require no effort. It would be a gentle and quiet transition, a feeling of moving from one medium to another, like a swimmer gliding from the air into the cool, silent, and welcoming water of a deep and peaceful lake. There would be no sound, no sensation of speed, just a quiet, graceful, and effortless passage from one reality into another, a silent and beautiful dive into the great, cosmic unknown. The journey through the throat would not be a violent rush, but a quiet and gentle drift. The inside of a wormhole, this tunnel through the fabric of space-time, would be a place outside of our normal understanding of motion. You would not be traveling in the conventional sense, as you are not covering any distance in our normal space. You would be simply quietly and gently in transit. Imagine floating in a place of perfect and profound weightlessness, a silent and peaceful corridor where the concepts of up and down and speed have no meaning. It would be a state of pure, quiet and serene passage, a gentle and timeless drift through a realm of pure geometry, a peaceful and meditative journey through the very heart of space-time itself. Imagine floating through a tunnel where the walls are made of distorted, shimmering starlight. The view from inside the throat of a wormhole would be a thing of strange and beautiful wonder. The walls of the tunnel would not be solid. They would be a strange gravitational lens, a place where you could see the light from both the entrance and the exit all at once. The view of the galaxy you just left would be visible, but it would be bent and distorted, its familiar stars warped into strange, beautiful, and circular patterns. And at the other end of the tunnel, the view of your destination galaxy would be similarly warped, a shimmering and beautiful target that would grow ever larger and clearer as you drifted gently towards it. It would be like floating inside a great cosmic kaleidoscope. The light of your departure galaxy would fade behind you into a single, small, and circular window. As you drift gently through the wormhole's throat, the view of your old home would begin to shrink. The entire, vast, and beautiful panorama of the Milky Way galaxy would be gathered together and compressed into a single, small, and circular porthole of light behind you. It would be like looking back at a beautiful sunlit island as your ship sails silently out into a great and unknown ocean. It would be a quiet, gentle, and perhaps even a little poignant final view of home, a single, beautiful, and shimmering jewel of light, holding all the billions of stars and all the familiar constellations you have ever known in a single, small, and perfect circle. And ahead of you, a new and different circle of light would slowly and gently begin to grow. At the other end of the silent, shimmering tunnel, the destination would be waiting. It would begin as a tiny, bright point of light, but as you drifted closer, it would begin to expand, to resolve itself into a new and different circle of a strange and beautiful sky. You would begin to see the unfamiliar, glowing clouds of new nebulae, the strange and beautiful patterns of new constellations, the soft, collective light of a galaxy you have never seen before. It would be a slow, graceful, and silent blossoming of a new reality in front of you, a quiet and beautiful promise of a new and wonderful shore that is waiting to welcome you. The journey could be one of profound and perfect silence, a passage through the space between spaces. In the throat of a wormhole, you are not in our universe in the normal sense. You are in a special and beautiful geometrical bridge that connects two distant parts of it. In this place, there would be no matter, no gas, no sound. The silence would be more profound and more complete than the silence of intergalactic space. It would be the silence of pure mathematics, of pure geometry. It would be a quiet and meditative state of being, a perfect and uninterrupted stillness in which to contemplate the strange and beautiful nature of the journey you are on. It would be a silent and peaceful intermission in the great cosmic play. You would be traveling faster than light, not by moving, but by taking a quiet, cosmic shortcut. The beautiful and gentle paradox of a wormhole is that it allows for faster-than-light travel without ever breaking the cosmic speed limit. The speed of light is the ultimate speed limit for any journey through space. But a wormhole is a journey around space. You are not moving faster than light. You are simply taking a path that is vastly shorter. It is a quiet and elegant solution to the problem of cosmic distance. It is the universe revealing that its rules are more subtle and more beautiful than we might have thought, and that there are quiet, gentle, and perfectly legal ways to bend them. The colors inside the wormhole might be a soft, gentle, and ever-shifting kaleidoscope of bent light. The light from the two connected galaxies as it passed through the intense and strange curvature of the wormhole's throat would be bent and distorted in beautiful and unpredictable ways. The colors would be separated like in a prism, creating a soft and ever-shifting display of rainbow hues on the tunnel's inner surface. It would be like drifting through a gentle and silent cosmic light show, a place where the normal white light of the stars is deconstructed into its pure, beautiful, and elemental colors. It would be a journey not just through space, but through the very nature of light itself. The exit would be a slow, graceful, and silent arrival into a completely new sky. The gentle drift would come to an end as you passed through the second mouth of the wormhole. It would be a transition as quiet and as effortless as the one on your entry. One moment you would be in the strange and beautiful, geometric world of the wormhole's throat, and the next, you would be floating peacefully and silently in the normal, familiar space of a new and different galaxy. The strange, distorted views of the tunnel would be gone, replaced by a vast, deep, and beautifully clear panorama of a completely new and alien starscape. It would be a quiet and gentle birth into a new and wondrous reality. You would emerge into a new and unknown corner of the universe, floating peacefully among new stars. The familiar constellations of our own night sky, Orion, the Big Dipper, the Southern Cross, would be gone. They are a local and a provincial pattern, a product of our own specific perspective within the Milky Way. Here, millions of light years from home, the stars would form their own new and beautiful patterns. There would be new dippers, new hunters, new celestial animals to be found in the glittering, unfamiliar arrangements of the stars. It would be a quiet and humbling experience, a gentle and beautiful reminder that the universe is full of an infinite number of different and equally beautiful perspectives. The constellations you have known your whole life would be gone, replaced by new and beautiful patterns. This would be one of the most profound and gentle experiences of such a journey. The patterns of our constellations are like the familiar, comforting geography of our own celestial home. To see them gone would be to truly and deeply understand that you are far from home. But it would not be a frightening experience. It would be one of quiet and gentle wonder. It would be the joy of seeing a new and beautiful sky for the very first time, of having a whole, new, and glittering cosmic map to learn and to explore with your eyes. It would be a quiet and beautiful gift of a second stellar home. You could look back and see your own Milky Way galaxy as a beautiful spiral cloud in the sky. And perhaps the most beautiful and poignant sight of all would be the view of your own home galaxy. From this immense and distant vantage point, our entire vast and magnificent Milky Way, with its 200 billion stars, its great sweeping spiral arms, and its bright golden core would be reduced to a single, small and gentle smudge of faint white light. It would be a quiet, beautiful, and deeply humbling sight. It would be to see our home, not as the entire universe, but as a single, small, and precious island in a great and vast cosmic ocean. And in that view, you might feel a new and profound sense of love and connection to your tiny, distant, and beautiful home. Our entire vast galaxy, our home of billions of stars, would be just a faint, gentle smudge of light. Imagine that quiet, peaceful arrival. You have emerged from the shimmering doorway of the wormhole into a new and unfamiliar corner of the cosmos. After a moment of gentle reorientation, you would look back in the direction from which you came, searching for home. And there, among the strange and beautiful new constellations, you would see it. Not as the brilliant, overwhelming river of light that stretches across our own night sky, but as a single, faint, and solitary object. It would be a small, elongated, and ghostly cloud, a quiet and humble smudge of luminescence against the profound black. To see it would be a moment of breathtaking and peaceful perspective. That faint and fragile-looking object would contain everything you have ever known. It would hold the sun, the earth, every city, every mountain, every ocean, every memory. To see your entire world, your entire history, contained in a single, faint, and distant brushstroke of light would be to understand, in a deep and profoundly peaceful way, the true and gentle scale of your own existence, a quiet and beautiful lesson in cosmic humility. The new sky could be dominated by a beautiful alien nebula, painting the darkness with soft, new colors. As you floated in this new and silent space, you would begin to take in your surroundings. Perhaps the most striking feature of this new sky would be a great cosmic cloud, a nebula of a size and a color you had never before witnessed. It might be a vast billowing curtain of deep crimson light, the glow of ionized hydrogen from a great region of star birth. Or perhaps it would be a delicate, intricate and ghostly blue, the reflected light of a young star cluster on a cloud of ancient dust. This great, silent and luminous structure would hang in the sky, a permanent and beautiful piece of celestial art. It would be the great landmark of your new cosmic neighborhood, the quiet and gentle replacement for the familiar constellations of your home. It would be a constant and beautiful reminder that the universe is a place of infinite and wonderful variety, and that every corner of the cosmos has its own unique and deeply peaceful beauty. Imagine a sky with 2 or 3 moons, or a sky lit by the gentle collective glow of a star cluster. The variety of new skies you could emerge into is a source of endless and gentle wonder. You might arrive in a solar system with a family of large moons, each one a different size and color, hanging in the sky like a collection of beautiful celestial pearls. The nights would be a slow and graceful dance of these rising and setting worlds, their gentle, reflected light casting multiple soft shadows on the ground. Or you could emerge on the edge of a great globular star cluster. In this case, your night sky would never be truly dark. It would be a deep, velvety dome, but a dome that is absolutely filled with thousands of brilliant, intensely colored stars, a sky that glitters and shines with a light that is both soft and overwhelming. It would be a quiet and profound experience to see that the simple, beautiful architecture of our own sky is just one of a billion other equally beautiful possibilities. The journey would be the ultimate act of letting go, a complete surrender to the strange and gentle geometry of space-time. To decide to step into the quiet, shimmering mouth of a wormhole would be an act of the most profound trust. It would be to let go of every familiar landmark, every known direction, and every comfortable notion of distance and of time. It would be to surrender yourself completely to the deep, strange, and beautiful logic of the universe's own hidden geometry. The journey would not be one of control, but of release. You would not be piloting a ship, but simply allowing yourself to be carried, like a leaf on a strange and silent river. It is a deeply peaceful and meditative thought. The idea of a journey that is not about striving, but about a quiet, willing, and graceful surrender to the fundamental and mysterious shape of the world. The passage could take only a few quiet, peaceful moments. The true and beautiful magic of a wormhole is the conquest of time. A journey that would take a beam of light millions of years to complete could be undertaken by you in the time it takes to have a few slow and gentle breaths. You would step through the shimmering doorway on one side of the universe. You would experience a brief, quiet, and beautiful passage through a realm of pure geometry, and you would emerge, moments later, on a shore that is separated from your home by an ocean of almost unimaginable scale. It is the ultimate and most gentle of all possible forms of travel. It is a quiet and beautiful dream of a universe where the great, isolating tyranny of distance has been overcome. Not by great and violent speed, but by a quiet, simple, and profound understanding of the universe's secret and gentle passages. You would have crossed a distance that light itself would take 1,000,000 years to travel. Let your mind rest on the quiet and gentle immensity of this thought. The speed of light is the ultimate and most sacred speed limit in our universe. It is the fastest that any message or any object can travel through space. But a wormhole is a journey around space. To have crossed 1,000,000 light years in a few moments is to have stepped outside of the normal rules of the cosmos. It is to have participated in a quiet and gentle miracle. You would not feel the strain of this journey. You would not feel the acceleration or the speed. You would simply quietly and peacefully be there. It is a form of travel that is as gentle and as effortless as a thought, a quiet and beautiful idea that connects the mind's ability to leap from one idea to another with the physical possibility of leaping from one galaxy to
another. The feeling would be one of a gentle and profound dislocation, a quiet and beautiful dream.
Upon your arrival, the most overwhelming sensation would not be one of excitement, but of a deep, quiet, and dreamlike sense of wonder. Your mind would hold the fresh memory of your own familiar sky, and your eyes would be seeing a sky that is completely and utterly new. The dissonance between these two realities would create a feeling that is very similar to the feeling of waking from a very vivid and very realistic dream. For a few quiet moments, you might not be sure which reality is the true one. It is a gentle and beautiful thought. The idea of a form of travel that is so profound and so strange that it momentarily dissolves the boundary between the dreaming and the waking world. You would be the ultimate explorer, not through great speed, but through a deep and quiet understanding of the shape of the world. The great explorers of our past conquered the world with their courage and their endurance, with their tall ships and their powerful engines. But you would be an explorer of a different and more gentle kind. Your journey would not be a testament to your own power, but a testament to your quiet and humble understanding of the universe's own secret and beautiful architecture. You would be a traveler who has learned not to fight against the great cosmic distances, but to simply and quietly step around them. You would be a practitioner of a kind of cosmic Aikido, using the universe's own deep and geometric nature to go from here to there with the most gentle and minimal of efforts. The air on the other side would carry the scent of a different kind of starlight. This is a quiet and poetic thought, a gentle and speculative imagining. The faint, almost undetectable scent of space in our own solar system is thought to be a mixture of ozone, of hot metal, of the byproducts of our own familiar sun. But the space in another galaxy, orbiting another kind of star,
a star with a different age and a different chemical composition would be a different kind of space.
The faint interstellar medium would be made of a different mixture of dust and gas. The solar wind would be made of different particles. If you could, in some safe and gentle way, take a breath of this new and alien space, it might carry a different, quiet, and beautiful scent. It might be the scent of a younger, bluer star, or the ancient metallic scent of a star cluster at the end of its life. The silence would be different, a new and deeper quiet of an unknown and distant place. While the vacuum of space is silent everywhere, the quality of that silence in our own human perception is colored by our knowledge of what is around us. The silence of our own solar system is a familiar and a comforting silence.
It is the quiet of home.
But the silence of a new and distant galaxy would be a different thing. It would be a silence that is deeper, more profound, and more complete. It would be the silence of the truly, deeply, and beautifully unknown. It would be a quiet that is filled with a sense of immense and gentle mystery, a silence that holds within it all the unknown stories and all the unseen wonders of a place that has, until this moment, been completely and utterly beyond our reach. The journey through a wormhole is a journey from the familiar to the wondrous. It is the ultimate and most gentle of all possible forms of travel, because it is a journey that transforms not only your location, but your entire perception of reality. To step through such a doorway would be to leave behind every single familiar landmark of your existence. Every star, every constellation, every planet you have ever known would be gone, replaced by a new and equally beautiful set of wonders. It is a journey that would gently and quietly recalibrate your entire sense of what is possible. It is a quiet and beautiful reminder that our own familiar corner of the universe is just one single and tiny page in a great and unimaginably vast cosmic book. It is a quiet and gentle reminder of how vast and how strange the universe truly is. We can know intellectually that the universe is a place of immense scale and strange phenomena, but our own direct experience is so limited, so provincial. The night sky we see is a beautiful but local view. A journey through a wormhole would be a direct, physical, and deeply gentle immersion in the true cosmic strangeness. It would be to experience with your own senses the profound and beautiful truth that the universe is not just bigger than we imagine, but is stranger, more diverse, and more full of gentle and quiet wonder than we can possibly imagine. It would be the universe gently and quietly revealing its true and deeply mysterious heart to you. The starlight on the other side would be ancient, but it would be new to you. The photons of light that would greet you on your arrival would have their own long and ancient histories. They would have traveled for thousands or millions of years from their own host stars to reach the mouth of the wormhole where you have just emerged. To the inhabitants of that galaxy, this light would be old and familiar, but to you it would be completely and utterly new. It would be a shower of fresh, beautiful, and unknown information. Every single point of light in your new sky would be a new story, a new history, a new and quiet mystery. It would be a gentle and profound experience to be bathed in a light that is both incredibly ancient and perfectly, wonderfully new. You would be a quiet and peaceful visitor on a truly alien shore. Imagine the feeling of being the very first human to ever witness this new reality. You would be a traveler who has journeyed further than any other in history, not through a long and arduous voyage, but through a single, quiet, and graceful step. You would be a gentle and silent ambassador of your own, distant, and now invisible world. The feeling would not be one of conquest or of ownership, but of a deep, quiet, and profound sense of privilege. It would be the privilege of being a quiet and peaceful guest, a humble and wondrous observer of a beautiful and serene new corner of the great cosmic garden. The passage would be a form of cosmic meditation, a journey through the pure geometry of being. To drift through the throat of a wormhole would be to be in a state of pure, simple, and unadulterated existence. There would be no external stimuli in the normal sense, no sound, no touch, no up or down. There would only be the strange and beautiful visual poetry of the bent and shimmering starlight on the tunnel walls, and the quiet, internal landscape of your own thoughts. It would be the ultimate and most profound of all sensory deprivation tanks. It would be a quiet and gentle opportunity to simply be, to exist for a few peaceful moments as a pure, disembodied consciousness. A quiet and gentle traveler in a realm of pure mathematical and deeply serene form. The inside of a wormhole would be a place outside of our normal understanding of place. Where would you be in those moments of transit? You would not be in our familiar three-dimensional space. You would be in a higher dimensional shortcut, a place whose very nature is to connect the distant. It is a place that has a length, but not a location in the way we normally understand it. It would be to exist for a few quiet moments in the very fabric of the in-between. It is a gentle, beautiful, and mind-expanding thought. The idea of a place that is not a place, a road that is not a road, a quiet and gentle corridor that exists outside of the normal geography of our great cosmic home. It would be a journey where the destination and the journey itself are beautifully and strangely intertwined. From within the throat of the wormhole, you would be able to see both your point of departure and your point of arrival simultaneously. The galaxy you have left and the galaxy you are traveling to would both be visible as two strange and beautiful circular windows of light, one at each end of the tunnel. Your entire journey would be a slow and gentle process of one of these windows shrinking while the other one grows. It is a form of travel where you can never lose sight of your destination. A journey where the beautiful and hopeful promise of the arrival is your constant and gentle companion throughout the entire quiet and peaceful passage. You would see the light of two galaxies at once, one at each end of the quiet tunnel. Let your mind rest on this beautiful and paradoxical image. You are floating in a place of perfect silence and stillness. Behind you is a small, shimmering and circular window, and through it you can see the beautiful, familiar spiral arms of your own home galaxy. And in front of you is a large, growing and equally beautiful circle of light, and through it you can see the strange, new and wonderful shapes of your destination. You are in two places and in no place all at once. You are a quiet and gentle observer, perfectly poised between the memory of the old and the promise of the new, a single, peaceful point of awareness in the strange and beautiful geometry of the in-between. It would be like looking through a great, cosmic keyhole into a distant, secret room. A wormhole is a quiet and beautiful breach of the normal cosmic privacy. It is a small and secret opening that allows you to peek into a room that is millions of light years away. To be inside one is to be in the very privileged position of the quiet and gentle observer, looking from one great cosmic room to another. It is a journey that is also an act of quiet and gentle voyeurism, a chance to see a part of the universe that was meant, by all the normal rules, to remain forever hidden from you. It is a quiet and beautiful reminder that the universe may have its secrets, but it may also have its secret, gentle, and beautiful ways of revealing them. The arrival would be as gentle and as quiet as waking from a peaceful and beautiful dream. The transition from the strange geometric world of the wormhole's throat back into our normal familiar space would not be a jolt. It would be a soft, slow and gentle blossoming. The circular window of your destination would expand until it filled your entire field of view, and then without any seam or any sound, you would simply be there. The strange, distorted physics of the tunnel would give way to the calm, familiar, and gentle physics of normal space. It would be a moment of quiet and profound arrival, a gentle and beautiful return to a sense of place, a peaceful and wonderful awakening into a new and beautiful reality. You would be a quiet and solitary traveler, carrying the memory of a sky that no one here has ever seen. Upon your arrival in this new galaxy, you would be in possession of a quiet, beautiful, and precious secret. You would be the only being in this entire vast city of stars that holds the memory of our own sun, our own Orion, our own Southern Cross. You would be a quiet and gentle, living library, a single solitary mind that holds the star map of a world that is, from this new perspective, impossibly, and perhaps even eternally, far away. It is a quiet, beautiful, and perhaps even a little lonely thought. You would be a tourist in the truest and most profound sense of the word, a quiet and peaceful stranger in a very strange and beautiful land. The journey is a quiet and beautiful thought, a gentle and peaceful fantasy of cosmic travel. Let your mind drift and play with this idea. Feel the quiet and gentle sense of wonder that it inspires. The beauty of the wormhole is not just in its scientific possibility, but in its power as a quiet and beautiful idea. It is a fantasy that allows us to gently and peacefully transcend the immense and isolating distances of our own real universe. It is a quiet and safe way to dream of visiting the distant, beautiful, and mysterious shores that we can see with our telescopes. It is a gentle and beautiful bedtime story that the universe, through the language of its own physical laws, is quietly telling to itself. It is a journey that requires not a powerful engine, but a gentle and open doorway. The great dream of space travel in our own fictions is a dream of power, of speed, of great and noisy engines that fight against the vastness of space. But the dream of the wormhole is a dream of a different and more gentle kind. It is a dream of elegance, of cleverness, of a quiet and profound understanding. It suggests that the greatest distances may be crossed not with the greatest force, but with the most gentle and simple of all things, an open door. It is a quiet and beautiful reminder that the most profound solutions are not always the most powerful, but are often the most simple, the most graceful, and the most quiet. You would have become a citizen of two galaxies, a quiet and peaceful commuter on a cosmic scale. If a stable wormhole were to connect our galaxy to another, it would be a bridge in the most profound sense of the word. It would join two vast and previously separate communities into a single, larger neighborhood. You could, in principle, spend your morning in the Milky Way and your afternoon in Andromeda. You would be a being of two worlds, a quiet and gentle traveler who calls two entire and beautiful galaxies your home. It is a beautiful and expansive thought, a quiet and gentle dissolving of the greatest and most profound of all cosmic boundaries. The experience would be one of profound and gentle, mind-expanding wonder. To have made such a journey, to have seen such a thing, would be to have your own small and human perspective stretched to a beautiful and almost infinite degree. It would be to know, in a deep and personal way, the true, strange, and beautiful nature of space-time. It would be to have seen your own entire galaxy as a small and distant cloud. Such an experience would be a source of a deep, quiet, and unending sense of peace. It would be to have touched the very heart of the universe's greatest and most gentle mystery, and to carry that quiet and beautiful wonder with you for the rest of your days. It is a quiet and beautiful dream of a universe that is both vast and small at the same time. This is the central, gentle, and beautiful paradox of the wormhole. It does not shrink the universe, but it makes it navigable. It preserves the vast, awe-inspiring, and beautiful scale of the cosmos, but it offers a quiet and secret way to overcome it. It is a dream that allows us to hold two contradictory but equally beautiful ideas in our minds at the same time. The idea of a universe of unimaginable, lonely, and profound scale, and the idea of a universe that is an intimate, cozy, and wonderfully interconnected home. The passage would be a silent, graceful, and perfect dive into the deep, unknown ocean of the cosmos. Imagine standing on a high cliff overlooking a great, dark, and perfectly calm sea.
A journey through a wormhole would be like taking a single,
quiet and graceful step off of that cliff, and instead of falling simply and gently, appearing in the calm and quiet waters of a beautiful and sunlit lagoon on the other side of the world. It is a journey without a journey, a movement without motion. It is a quiet, gentle, and beautiful surrender to a deeper and more mysterious kind of connection. A perfect and peaceful dive into the very heart of the beautiful and unknown, and the arrival would be a quiet, gentle and peaceful surfacing in a new and beautiful sea. The journey would end as quietly and as gently as it began. You would simply, and without any effort, find yourself floating in the warm and gentle waters of your destination. The great, dark, and familiar ocean of your departure would be gone, and you would be surrounded by a new, bright, and beautiful reality. You would be a quiet and peaceful swimmer who has, through some gentle and beautiful magic, been transported from one great and beautiful body of water to another. And now, All that is left to do is to simply, quietly, and peacefully float in this new, warm, and welcoming sea. If wormholes existed, the galaxies would no longer be lonely islands in the cosmic sea. This is the grand and beautiful implication that would change our entire perception of the cosmos. The current model of our universe is one of profound and beautiful isolation. The galaxies are like great, island continents, separated by oceans of space so vast that they are effectively uncrossable. The journey from one to another is a journey of millions of years, even at the speed of light. But a universe woven through with wormholes would be a different place entirely. It would be a universe where these vast cosmic oceans are secretly and quietly bridged. The galaxies would no longer be fundamentally separate. They would be the distant but ultimately connected provinces of a single, great and unified cosmic kingdom. They would be quiet and distant neighbors connected by a network of hidden, gentle pathways. Imagine a world of beautiful mountain villages, each one separated by a high and impassable mountain range. The villages would be isolated, each developing its own unique culture, unaware of the others. Now imagine that deep within the mountains there is a secret, an ancient network of quiet, gentle, and hidden tunnels that connect all of these villages. The discovery of these tunnels would transform the world. The villages would no longer be isolated, they would be neighbors. A universe with wormholes would be like this. The great galactic villages would be connected by these quiet,
Ancient and deeply hidden cosmic tunnels.
transforming a universe of strangers into a universe of distant, but connected neighbors. The universe would become a single, vast and interconnected neighborhood. The feeling of such a universe would be profoundly different. It would be a place of deeper and more gentle community. While the distances would still be vast in the visual sense, the knowledge that they were not absolute would change everything. It would be like living in a great and sprawling city, where you know that even the most distant neighborhoods are, through a series of quiet and hidden alleyways, actually just a short and gentle walk away. It would transform our sense of cosmic loneliness into a sense of quiet and beautiful cosmic belonging. The universe would feel less like a vast and empty wilderness, and more like a single, great, and wonderfully interconnected home. The great cosmic silence between the galaxies would be a little less profound. When we listen to the universe with our radio telescopes, we hear a great and profound silence between the stars and between the galaxies. A universe with wormholes would still be a silent place, but the quality of that silence would change. It would no longer be the silence of a true and absolute separation. It would be the silence of a quiet and sleeping house, a silence that is filled with the gentle and latent potential for connection. It would be the silence of a telephone network that is not currently being used, but which holds the beautiful and quiet promise of a future conversation. The great cosmic silence would be transformed from a silence of emptiness into a silence of profound and gentle, sleeping potential. It would be filled with the quiet, theoretical possibility of these silent, shimmering connections. Every patch of dark and empty space in the night sky would become a place of new and gentle wonder. We would look at the great, dark voids between the galaxies, and we would not just see an absence. We would see a place of quiet and beautiful possibility. We would wonder if, hidden within that darkness, there was a shimmering, spherical doorway, a quiet and gentle passage to a place a billion light-years away. The entire dark fabric of the cosmos would be imbued with a new, gentle, and deeply magical sense of potential. The emptiness itself would become as interesting and as full of wonder as the bright and beautiful galaxies. The history of one galaxy could gently and quietly influence the history of another. In a universe connected by wormholes, the great cosmic islands would no longer be completely isolated. A great, explosive event in one galaxy, like a supernova or a gamma-ray burst, could send a powerful jet of radiation and particles through a wormhole. And this energy could emerge in a completely different and distant galaxy millions of years later. The slow, gentle, and quiet evolution of one galaxy would no longer be a completely private affair. It would be a part of a larger, interconnected and cosmic story. The universe would be a more complex and a more beautifully interactive place, a great cosmic ecosystem where the events in one quiet forest can have a gentle and surprising effect on another, very distant one. Light from a very distant galaxy could spill through a wormhole, creating a beautiful, celestial mirage. Imagine looking up at your night sky at a familiar and well-known constellation. Now imagine that one night, a new and strange object appears in that constellation. It is a faint, fuzzy patch of light that was not there before. It is not a star, it is not a planet, it is not a comet. It is the light from a very, very distant galaxy, a galaxy from the other side of the universe that has found its way to your sky through a newly opened or a wandering wormhole. It would be a beautiful and gentle cosmic mirage. It would be a quiet and temporary window, a strange and wonderful illusion, a faint and ghostly visitor from a place that is, by all normal means, completely and utterly unreachable. You could be looking at a patch of your own night sky and see the stars of a galaxy a billion light years away. Let this quiet and beautiful image fill your mind. You are looking at a familiar and peaceful starscape, but within it, there is a small, strange, and shimmering circle of light. And inside that circle, the stars are different. They are a patch of a completely different and alien sky, a sky that belongs to a galaxy on the far side of the observable universe. It is a quiet and beautiful portal, a gentle and magical hole in the fabric of your own familiar reality. It would be a constant and serene reminder that the universe is a place of deep, hidden, and profoundly beautiful connections. A place where the impossibly far away can sometimes be as close as your own quiet and gentle backyard. The universe would be a place of beautiful and gentle spatial echoes. A wormhole would be a kind of quiet and beautiful echo in the geometry of space-time. It would be a place where a distant reality is gently and quietly resonating with our own. The light and the gravity from one part of the universe could gently and quietly echo into another. The universe would become a great and beautiful cosmic whispering gallery, a place where a faint and quiet sound from one side of the room can be heard with a strange and beautiful clarity on the other. It would be a universe that is constantly and gently reminding itself of its own deep and fundamental interconnectedness. Natural wormholes, if they exist, might be ancient, stable, and quiet features of the cosmos. If traversable wormholes are possible, it may be that they were formed naturally in the hot, dense, and incredibly energetic conditions of the very early universe. If so, they might be incredibly ancient and stable objects, as old as the galaxies themselves. They would not be a fleeting and a temporary phenomenon, but a permanent and quiet part of the cosmic landscape. They would be the ancient, hidden, and secret river system of the universe, a network of gentle and quiet pathways that has been silently and peacefully connecting the cosmos for all of its long and beautiful history. They could be the universe's own natural and gentle form of public transportation. In this gentle and beautiful vision, the wormholes would not be a rare and a strange anomaly. They would be a fundamental and a common part of the cosmic infrastructure. They would be the quiet and natural bridges that connect the great continental land masses of the galactic superclusters. They would be the silent, gentle, and ever-present pathways that allow for the possibility of a truly and deeply unified cosmic civilization. They would be a quiet and beautiful gift from the universe to itself, a gentle and elegant solution to the problem of its own
vast and isolating scale. They might connect the great
empty voids, providing a quiet bridge across the profound nothingness. The great cosmic voids are the largest and most empty places in our universe. They are vast, dark, and lonely oceans of near-perfect emptiness. But perhaps they are not as isolating as they seem. A wormhole could, in principle, provide a quiet and gentle bridge across one of these immense and empty spaces. A journey that would take 1 billion years to cross the void could be completed in a few quiet moments. These gentle and hidden pathways would transform the voids from being great cosmic deserts into being places of quiet and gentle, hidden connection. The emptiness itself would be woven together with these silent and beautiful threads of possibility. The cosmic web would be more than just filaments of matter. It would be a web of connections. We know that the galaxies are arranged in a great, beautiful and web-like structure.
A universe with wormholes would have a second, hidden, and even more intricate web woven within this first one.
It would be a web of shortcuts, of gentle and quiet topological connections. This would make the cosmic web a true and deeply interconnected network. Not only would the galaxies be connected by their long, slow and graceful gravitational filaments, but they would also be connected by these secret, fast and profoundly gentle geometric tunnels. The universe would be a web in the truest and most beautiful sense of the word. The universe would feel like a smaller, more intimate, and more unified place. The primary effect of a universe filled with wormholes would be a psychological one. It would change our entire deep and emotional relationship with the cosmos. The universe, in our current understanding, is a place of almost terrifying, lonely, and profound scale. But a universe with wormholes would be a place of gentle and surprising intimacy. The impossibly distant would become the potentially near. The completely alien would become the potential neighbor. It would be a quiet and beautiful transformation of our own inner cosmic landscape, a gentle and profound healing of the great, isolating wound of cosmic distance. The concept of distance would become a more gentle, more fluid, and more beautiful idea. Distance would no longer be a single, simple, and absolute thing. It would be a more complex and a more interesting concept. There would be the long way, the journey through normal space, and there would be the short way, the quiet and gentle passage through a wormhole. The question, how far away is it, would be replaced with the more gentle and more beautiful question, how is it connected? The universe would become a place that is defined not by its separations, but by its beautiful, deep, and hidden connections. There would be two kinds of distance, the long, slow way and the quiet, gentle shortcut. Imagine a beautiful and serene garden with many long, winding and scenic paths. But also hidden within the garden are a series of small, quiet and beautiful moon gate doorways that act as shortcuts between the different sections. A universe with wormholes would be like this garden. You could choose to take the long and beautiful journey to travel for 1 million years through the silent and peaceful emptiness of intergalactic space. Or you could choose to take the quiet and gentle shortcut to step through a hidden doorway and arrive in an instant. The universe would be a richer and more beautiful place for having both of these gentle and wonderful possibilities. The universe would have a hidden and beautiful secret geography. Our current map of the universe is a map of what we can see. It is a map of the bright and beautiful islands of the galaxies. But a universe with wormholes would have a second, invisible, and even more important map. It would be a map of the connections, a map of the quiet and gentle, hidden pathways. This would be the true and fundamental geography of the cosmos. To understand this map would be to understand the universe on a much deeper and more profound level. It would be to see the secret, hidden, and beautiful order that lies beneath the apparent and visible one. We would be a part of a single, great, and potentially interwoven cosmic community. The idea of a wormhole is the ultimate and most gentle destroyer of the idea of cosmic loneliness. It is a quiet and beautiful suggestion that we are not, and may never have been, truly alone. It is the idea that the great cosmic ocean is not an uncrossable barrier, but is in fact a great connective medium. It is a quiet and hopeful dream, the dream that our own small, beautiful, and fragile island of life may be just one of a great and wonderful, interconnected archipelago of worlds, a single and quiet member of a vast and beautiful cosmic community. The idea of alien would feel a little less distant, a little more gentle. The word alien carries with it a sense of the impossibly strange and the impossibly far away. But in a universe connected by wormholes, the alien is transformed into the neighbor. They may be a very distant and a very strange neighbor, but they are a neighbor nonetheless. The very concept of otherness would be softened and made more gentle. The universe would become a place that, in its very structure, is a place of potential community and potential connection. It is a quiet, beautiful, and deeply hopeful thought about the fundamental and gentle nature of our cosmos. The universe would be a great and beautiful house with many secret, connecting corridors. Let this be the quiet architectural image you hold in your mind. Our universe is not a series of separate, disconnected rooms. It is a single, vast, and wonderfully designed mansion. The galaxies are the great sunlit ballrooms filled with the beautiful music of the stars. And the wormholes, if they exist, are the quiet, hidden, and secret passages that the architect has built into the walls. They are the servants' corridors, the dumbwaiters, the hidden doorways behind the bookcases. They are the gentle and clever design features that make the entire vast structure feel like a single, unified, and wonderfully interconnected home. To know that these passages exist would be to feel a new and profound sense of intimacy with our own cosmic home, a quiet and beautiful assurance that no room is ever truly and completely isolated from the others. The story of the cosmos would be a story of these quiet, gentle, and surprising connections. In our current telling of the universe's story, it is a grand and epic tale, but it is a tale of great, lonely distances and of slow, patient journeys. A universe with wormholes would be a different kind of story. It would be a story filled with quiet surprises, with gentle twists, and with unexpected and beautiful connections. It would be a story where a character from one chapter can suddenly and quietly appear in another. It would be a story that is less like a grand, linear epic and more like a beautiful and intricate novel with many interwoven subplots and secret narrative threads. It would be a story that is richer, more complex, and ultimately more gentle and more surprising. The universe would be a place of infinite, gentle, and beautiful surprises. The existence of wormholes would be a profound and quiet declaration from the cosmos that its nature is one of mystery and of surprise. It would be a gentle and constant reminder that our understanding of reality is always incomplete, and that there are always new and beautiful layers to be discovered. The universe would no longer be a predictable clockwork machine, but a place of gentle and quiet magic, a place where the impossible can sometimes beautifully and quietly become possible. This would not be a source of chaos, but a source of deep and gentle wonder, a quiet and profound invitation to always remain open, always remain curious, and to always expect the universe to be more beautiful and more surprising than you had ever imagined. To look at the night sky would be to wonder which of those faint lights might be a quiet doorway. The experience of looking up at the stars would be transformed. It would no longer be a simple act of looking at distant burning balls of gas. It would become an act of profound and gentle, speculative imagination. Every faint and distant star, every fuzzy and remote galaxy would carry with it a new and beautiful question. Is there a quiet passage there? Is that a doorway? The night sky would become a great and beautiful cosmic puzzle, a map that is not just a map of places, but a map of potential connections. It would be a quiet and gentle game of wonder, a peaceful and endless meditation on the secret, hidden, and connective possibilities of the cosmos, the universe would be a place that is both unimaginably vast and beautifully, intimately small. This is the final, beautiful and gentle paradox of a wormhole-connected cosmos. The vast, awe-inspiring and humbling scale of the universe would remain. The millions of light-years of distance between the galaxies would still be real. But this vastness would be tempered by a new and profound sense of intimacy. It would be like living in a great and ancient palace with 1,000 rooms, a place of immense and impressive scale, but also knowing that your own small, quiet room has a secret, gentle passage that connects it to the king's own private garden. The universe would be a place that could inspire both a sense of profound, cosmic awe and a sense of quiet, gentle, and intimate belonging, all at the very same time. A wormhole might not only connect two different places, but two different moments in time. Here we drift into the deepest and most gentle of all cosmic waters. According to Einstein's theory of relativity, space and time are not separate things. They are a single, interwoven fabric called space-time. And if a wormhole is a shortcut through the fabric of space, then it must also, in some quiet and gentle way, be a shortcut through the fabric of time. The mathematics of a wormhole suggest that by moving one of its mouths at a very high speed and then returning it, you could create a quiet and gentle offset in time between the two ends. One mouth could be in the present, and the other could be a few quiet moments or 1,000 gentle years in the past. It is a quiet, beautiful, and deeply profound theoretical possibility. It is a quiet and theoretical doorway, not just through space, but through the river of time itself. Let us imagine the flow of time as a great, wide, and gently flowing river. We are all quiet and peaceful boats floating on this river, all drifting together from the past, which is upstream, to the future, which is downstream. A normal wormhole is like a bridge that instantly takes you from one bank of the river to a very distant point on the same bank. But a time-traveling wormhole is a different and a stranger kind of bridge. It is a bridge that could, in theory, take you from your own present moment on the river and gently and quietly place you back in the water a few miles upstream in a time that has already passed. It is a beautiful, gentle, a mind-expanding idea, a quiet and theoretical possibility of navigating not just the width of the river, but its length as well. A journey through such a wormhole could be a gentle drift into the deep, quiet past. Imagine stepping through a shimmering, silent doorway. The journey is quiet and peaceful, and when you emerge, you find yourself not in a new and different galaxy, but in the same familiar place you just left, but the world around you is different. It is a quieter, more gentle, and more ancient version of your own world. The buildings are different, the trees are younger, the stars in the sky are in a slightly different position. You would have traveled not through space, but through time. You would be a quiet and gentle visitor, a peaceful and silent ghost in a land that is your own home, but from a time that is not your own. It is a dream of a quiet and gentle form of time travel, a peaceful and profound journey into a when that has already been. Or it could be a peaceful and silent arrival in a far and distant future. This is perhaps a more gentle and a more simple kind of temporal journey. A journey into the future is, in a sense, what we are all doing all the time, at a rate of 1 second per second. A wormhole that connects to the future would simply be a way of speeding up this natural and gentle process. It would be like finding a quiet and hidden, fast-moving current in the great, slow river of time. You would step into this current and you would be carried gently and quietly downstream, arriving at a future that was always and inevitably waiting for you. It would be a quiet and beautiful glimpse of the world that is to be, a gentle and peaceful visit to a shore that you were always, eventually, going to reach. This beautiful and strange idea raises many deep and gentle questions about the nature of time. The very possibility of time travel, even in this gentle and theoretical form, is like a beautiful and quiet koan, a puzzle that the universe has given us to contemplate. It forces us to ask the most profound and most gentle of questions. What is the past? Is it a real place, a quiet and fixed country that can be visited? Or is it just a memory, a gentle and fading echo that can never be returned to? What is the future? Is it an open and unwritten book? Or is it a destination that has already been built, waiting quietly for our arrival? The idea of a time-traveling wormhole is a beautiful and peaceful invitation to simply and quietly wonder about the deepest and most mysterious of all concepts, the nature of time itself. If you could visit the past, could you change it? This is the quiet and gentle paradox. This is the great and beautiful puzzle that lies at the heart of all stories about time travel. It is often called the grandfather paradox. What if you were to travel to the past and you were to prevent your own grandparents from ever meeting? If they never met, then you would never have been born. But if you were never born, then you could not have traveled to the past to prevent them from meeting. It is a quiet and beautiful contradiction, a story that gently and gracefully eats its own tail. The existence of such paradoxes has led many physicists to believe that travel to the past must, in some quiet and gentle way, be forbidden by the very laws of the universe. Many physicists believe the universe has quiet, gentle, and unbreakable rules to protect its own story. This is a deeply peaceful and reassuring thought. It is the idea that the universe is not a chaotic and nonsensical place, but a place of deep, quiet, and profound narrative consistency. It is as if the universe is a great and beautiful and perfectly written novel. And like any good author, the universe does not allow for plot holes. It does not allow for characters to go back and change the beginning of the story in a way that would make the end of the story impossible. The universe, in its deep and quiet wisdom, has a profound and gentle respect for the integrity of its own unfolding tale. The chronology protection conjecture is the idea that the universe gently and quietly forbids time travel to the past. This is the beautiful and gentle name that the physicist Stephen Hawking gave to this idea. It is not a proven law, but a quiet and hopeful conjecture. It is the belief that the laws of physics themselves will always conspire in some quiet, gentle, and perhaps very subtle way to prevent time travel paradoxes from ever occurring. It is the idea that the universe has a kind of gentle, self-healing, and protective nature. It is a quiet and profound suggestion that the timeline of our cosmos is a precious and a fragile thing, and that the universe itself has its own quiet and beautiful ways of keeping it safe. It suggests that the universe has a quiet, gentle, and self-healing nature. Imagine the timeline of the universe as the smooth, calm surface of a great and silent lake. A time machine that could travel to the past would be like a stone capable of being thrown into the lake and creating great, chaotic, and paradoxical ripples. The chronology protection conjecture is the gentle and beautiful idea that this is not possible. It suggests that the laws of physics would always act in such a way as to gently and quietly heal the surface of the lake before the stone could ever hit it. It is a vision of a universe that is not a fragile and a passive thing, but a robust, resilient, and gently self-correcting one, a universe that quietly and peacefully protects its own deep and serene calm. A wormhole that could lead to the past might gently and quietly collapse the moment you tried to use it. This is one of the possible, gentle mechanisms by which the universe might protect its own history. The mathematics of a wormhole are incredibly delicate. The very act of sending a single particle, a single photon of light, into a time-traveling wormhole could create a feedback loop of energy that would destabilize the delicate structure and cause it to gently and quietly pinch itself off in an instant. It would be as if the universe, upon detecting an attempt to change its own quiet history, would simply and gently close the door. It is not a violent or a dramatic act, but a quiet, subtle, and profoundly effective form of cosmic self-preservation. The past is a quiet and beautiful country that we can look at, but perhaps can never visit. Let this gentle and peaceful thought settle in your mind. The past is not a place to be changed or to be interfered with. It is a place to be respected. It is a quiet and beautiful landscape of memory and of history. A time-traveling wormhole, if such a thing were possible, might not be a doorway to that country, but a beautiful and quiet, scenic overlook. It would be a safe and gentle platform from which you could look back and see the beautiful, silent and unchangeable landscape of what has been without ever being able to set foot upon its shores. It is a quiet and beautiful idea, the idea of the past as a protected and sacred nature preserve. A wormhole might be a beautiful and quiet window, but not a doorway into what has been. Imagine floating at the mouth of a gentle and stable wormhole, and imagine that the other mouth is in this same quiet place, but 100 years in the past. You would not be able to pass through it, but you could look into it, and you would see a perfect, real-time and three-dimensional image of the world as it was a century ago. It would be the ultimate and most profound of all historical records. You could watch the silent, graceful and unchangeable movie of the past, a story that is so close you feel you could touch it, but which is protected from you by a gentle, invisible and unbreakable wall. It is a quiet and beautiful dream of a perfect and peaceful historical observation. Imagine looking through a quiet cosmic porthole and seeing the Earth in the time of the dinosaurs. Let your mind drift on this serene and wondrous image. You are looking into a quiet, shimmering sphere, and within it you see a world that is both familiar and alien. You see the familiar shapes of the continents, but they are in a different arrangement. You see a world that is warmer, greener, and more full of life. You see great, gentle, and majestic creatures moving slowly and peacefully through vast and silent forests of ferns. You are a quiet, safe, and completely undetectable observer of a world that has been gone for 65 million years. It is a beautiful and gentle dream, the dream of being a silent, peaceful, and harmless ghost haunting the deep and distant past. You would be a quiet, gentle, and perfectly safe observer of a world that is forever gone. The beautiful and gentle implication of this kind of one-way observation is that it is a form of time travel without any of the dangerous paradoxes. You could not change the past because you could not interact with it. You would simply be a witness. It would be the most profound and most beautiful of all possible history lessons. It would be a quiet, gentle, and deeply humbling experience, a chance to see with your own eyes the great, slow, and beautiful story of our own planet's long and wonderful history, a story that is so much older and so much grander than our own small and fleeting chapter. A journey to the future, however, might be a more gentle and possible thing. Traveling to the past is full of these gentle and beautiful paradoxes, but traveling to the future is a different and a simpler story. We are all already traveling to the future. A wormhole that connects to a future time is not a thing that creates a paradox. It is simply a shortcut. It is a way of skipping some of the intervening pages of the great cosmic story and arriving at a later chapter a little more quickly than you otherwise would have. It is a quiet and gentle form of acceleration, a beautiful and peaceful journey to a destination that was, in some sense, always waiting for you to arrive. It would be like finding a quiet, fast current in the great, slow river of time. Let us return to this gentle and peaceful image. The river of time flows ever onwards from the past to the future. Our normal experience is to float gently in the main, slow current of this river. A wormhole to the future would be like a small and secret, faster-moving channel in this great river. To enter it would be to be carried gently and quickly downstream. You would not be changing the river, you would not be reversing its flow. You would simply be using your deep and quiet understanding of its currents to navigate it in a more efficient and a more graceful way. It is a quiet and beautiful idea, the idea of being a master navigator of the great and gentle river of time. You would simply be drifting downstream, arriving at a future that was always waiting for you. The future that you would arrive in would not be a strange or an impossible one. It would be the very same quiet and gentle future that you would have arrived at anyway had you taken the long and slow way. The journey would be different, but the destination would be the same. It is a quiet and deeply reassuring thought. It suggests that the future is a stable and a peaceful shore, a great and beautiful harbor that is waiting for all of us, no matter which current we choose to ride. It is a gentle and beautiful promise of a known and a peaceful destination, a quiet and final resting place on the great cosmic river. The rules of time are not angry or loud, but quiet, gentle, and deeply logical. The universe, in its deep and profound wisdom, seems to have a beautiful and inherent sense of order. The paradoxes of time travel are not a sign of the universe's chaos, but a sign of our own limited understanding of its deep and quiet logic. The laws that govern the flow of time are likely to be as elegant, as simple, and as beautiful as all the other laws of physics that we have discovered. They are not the arbitrary rules of a tyrant, but the gentle and logical grammar of a perfect and a beautiful story. To trust in these rules is to feel a sense of deep, quiet, and profound peace about the nature of time itself. They are the quiet and elegant grammar that makes the story of the universe make sense. Think of the history of the universe as the greatest and most beautiful of all possible novels. And like any great novel, it has a perfect and an elegant structure. It has a beginning, a middle, and it is moving towards a quiet and a gentle end. The laws of time, the laws that seem to forbid the paradoxes of time travel, are the grammatical rules that ensure that this great novel is a coherent and a beautiful one. They are the quiet and gentle hand of the great cosmic author, ensuring that the story is told in a way that is both beautiful and deeply, profoundly logical. A paradox is not a disaster, but a gentle hint from the universe that our understanding is incomplete. When we encounter a paradox in our scientific theories, it is not a sign that the universe is broken. It is a gentle and a beautiful signpost, a quiet and loving hint from the cosmos that our own current map of reality is not yet complete. A paradox is a place where our understanding has gently and peacefully run up against its own limits. It is a quiet and wonderful invitation to think more deeply, to dream more freely, and to search for a new and more beautiful map that can accommodate the strange and wonderful territory that we have just discovered. The universe does not allow for stories that contradict themselves. It is a perfect and quiet author. This is the simple, beautiful, and deeply restful essence of the chronology protection conjecture. The universe has a deep and profound sense of narrative integrity. It will not allow a character to go back to page 1 and change the story in a way that makes page 100 impossible. The story of the cosmos is a single, beautiful, and self-consistent whole. It is a tale that is so perfectly and so elegantly written that it contains within itself its own quiet and gentle protection against any and all possible contradictions. It is a perfect and a peaceful story, and we can rest in the deep and quiet assurance of its beautiful and unending logic. The idea of time travel is a deep and peaceful meditation
On the nature of now, to contemplate.
These gentle and beautiful puzzles is to be brought, with a quiet and a surprising force, into the profound and simple reality of this present moment. The past is a quiet and gentle memory. The future is a quiet and gentle dream. But the only place where we can ever truly be, the only place that is truly real to us, is the gentle, fleeting, and infinitely precious moment of now. The great and complex idea of time travel, in its final and most beautiful analysis, is a quiet and simple signpost that points us back to the profound, deep, and unending peace of this one, single and perfect, present moment. It is a quiet and gentle invitation to appreciate the beautiful, flowing, and one-way nature of our own experience. Our lives are a river. We cannot go back upstream. We cannot skip the journey and leap to the sea. We can only float gently and quietly on the current that is given to us. The beautiful and gentle impossibility of time travel is a quiet and profound reminder to love this journey. It is an invitation to not worry about the past that is gone, or to be anxious about the future that is to come, but to simply and quietly appreciate the beauty of the river as it flows around us right here and right now. It is a gentle and beautiful lesson in the deep and profound art of acceptance. A wormhole is a quiet and beautiful question that the universe is asking us about itself. The universe is not a silent and a static thing. It is a place of deep and profound and constant questioning. A wormhole is one of its most beautiful and most gentle questions. It is the universe asking, in the quiet and elegant language of mathematics, what is the true nature of distance? What is the true nature of time? What is the true and deep shape of my own beautiful being? And the fact that we, as a tiny and a fleeting part of this universe, are now able to hear and to contemplate this question is a thing of deep, quiet, and unending wonder. The gentle rules of the cosmos are not there to restrict us, but to create a universe of beauty and order. We sometimes think of the laws of physics as being a set of restrictive and cold commands. But it is more beautiful and more gentle to think of them as the rules of a wonderful and a creative game. They are the quiet and elegant constraints that allow for the possibility of a universe that is not a chaotic and a meaningless soup, but a place of structure, of beauty, and of profound and gentle order. The gentle rule that may forbid time travel is not a cage, but the quiet and beautiful frame that gives the painting of our cosmic history its shape, its meaning, and its profound and gentle beauty. The story of time must be a quiet, consistent, and beautiful one. The universe, in its deepest and most fundamental nature, is a storyteller. Its one great and epic story is the story of itself, the story of its own 13.8 billion year journey from a hot, dense beginning to a cool, peaceful future. And the universe is a perfect storyteller. Its story is one that is free of contradictions, of paradoxes, and of inconsistencies. The gentle rules of time are simply the universe's own, quiet and beautiful. Authorial commitment to telling a single, great, and perfectly coherent tale. The universe, in its deep and quiet wisdom, protects the integrity of its own unfolding tale.
It is a quiet and deeply comforting thought.
The story of the cosmos is not a fragile or a vulnerable thing. It is robust, it is resilient, and it is self-healing. It has within itself the deep and quiet wisdom to protect its own beautiful and unfolding narrative. We do not need to worry about the story of the universe becoming broken or nonsensical. The universe itself is the quiet and gentle guardian of its own deep and profound meaning. We are all safe and quiet readers of a story that is being told by a master and a perfect storyteller. The past is a gentle and sleeping memory, and the universe does not wish for it to be disturbed. Imagine the past as a great and beautiful and perfectly still snow globe. It is a perfect, quiet, and self-contained scene of a time that has been. The gentle laws of time are the quiet and invisible glass that surrounds this beautiful scene. They allow us to look at it, to appreciate its beauty, to learn from its quiet and silent tableau. But they do not allow us to shake it. They do not allow us to reach in and rearrange the tiny, sleeping figures. The past is a quiet and a sacred thing, a gentle and a sleeping memory, and the universe, in its quiet and deep wisdom, seems to have decided that it is a memory that should be allowed to peacefully and quietly rest. The future is a quiet and gentle promise, a destination we are all drifting towards together. If the past is a quiet and a fixed country, the future is a great and a beautiful ocean. We are all quiet and gentle sailors on this ocean, all floating together on the great and steady current of time. We cannot see the final shore, but we can trust that it is there and that the current is carrying us towards it with a deep, quiet, and unerring sense of purpose. A journey through a wormhole to the future would simply be to catch a faster current, but it would not change the great quiet and beautiful destination that is waiting for all of us at the end of this long and peaceful cosmic voyage. A time-traveling wormhole is the ultimate what-if of the cosmos. It is the quietest and most beautiful of all scientific dreams. It is an idea that takes our most profound and our most mysterious concepts, the nature of space, the flow of time, the structure of reality, and it weaves them together into a single, beautiful, and gentle question. It is a question that we may never have the final answer to, but the quiet and gentle act of asking it, of wondering about it, is a beautiful and a profoundly peaceful act in its own right. It is a quiet and wonderful way to put our own small and busy minds to rest by giving them a puzzle that is as vast, as gentle, and as beautiful as the night sky itself. It is a quiet and beautiful dream, a gentle and peaceful fantasy of physics. Let your mind rest in this quiet and gentle space of pure and beautiful imagination. The idea of a wormhole is a place where the rigorous and the logical language of mathematics gives way to the soft and the gentle language of a dream. It is a beautiful and a perfect bedtime story, a quiet and a gentle fantasy that has been given to us not by a storyteller, but by the very laws of the universe themselves. To fall asleep with the gentle and beautiful idea of a wormhole in your mind is to fall asleep with a quiet and a perfect symbol of the universe's own deep and profoundly wonderful dreaming imagination. The mystery of time is one of the most gentle and profound of all mysteries. Of all the great quiet questions of the cosmos, the question of what is time is perhaps the most simple and the most deep. We live in it, we feel it, we are carried by it, but we do not understand it. It is a quiet, gentle, and ever-present mystery that is woven into every single moment of our existence. A wormhole, with its beautiful and gentle paradoxes, is a quiet and wonderful lens through which to contemplate this great and peaceful mystery. It does not give us the answer, but it helps us to see the question in a new, more beautiful, and more gentle light. A wormhole is a quiet and beautiful symbol of this deep and wonderful puzzle. It is a physical manifestation, a geometric shape, given to a deep and a philosophical question. It is a quiet and a gentle reminder that the deepest questions about our reality are not just abstract thoughts, but are woven into the very mathematical and physical fabric of the world we are a part of. To think about a wormhole is to touch the very edge of our understanding, to stand at the shore of the great, quiet, and mysterious ocean of what we do not know. And to do so is to be filled with a sense of deep, quiet, and profoundly peaceful awe. To contemplate the paradoxes is not to be anxious, but to be filled with a sense of gentle awe. The paradoxes of time travel are not meant to be a source of worry or of mental struggle. They are beautiful and gentle, logical puzzles designed to be turned over and over in the mind, like a smooth and a quiet stone. To contemplate them is to be filled with a sense of wonder at the deep, quiet, and beautiful consistency of our universe. It is to marvel at the fact that our reality is a story that is so perfectly and so elegantly told that it does not allow for a single contradictory sentence. It is a quiet and beautiful reason to feel a deep and profound sense of peace and trust in the fundamental order of things. The universe is a place of deep, quiet, and beautiful logic. It is not a random or a chaotic place. It is a place that is governed by a set of simple, elegant, and perfectly consistent rules. The gentle and beautiful paradoxes that arise from the idea of time travel are not a sign of the universe's chaos, but a sign of its deep and unwavering logic. They are the universe gently and quietly, telling us that some stories, while beautiful to imagine, are simply not allowed by its own deep and fundamental grammar. It is a quiet and deeply reassuring thought to know that we are living in a universe that is, at its very heart, a place of perfect and peaceful, logical sense. It is a story that is so perfectly written, it does not allow for any inconsistent edits. Imagine the entire 13.8 billion year history of the universe as a single, great, and beautiful book already written. The laws of time, the laws that seem to prevent paradoxes, are the gentle and quiet rules of the great cosmic library where this book is kept. They are the rules that say, you may read this book, you may marvel at its story, but you may not, under any circumstances, go back and try to rewrite the first chapter. It is a quiet and a beautiful rule, a rule that is designed not to restrict, but to preserve the deep, quiet, and profound integrity of the one great and beautiful story that is. The gentle flow of time from past to future is a fundamental and peaceful aspect of our reality. It is the most basic and the most constant of all our experiences. It is the gentle and the unstoppable current that carries us through our lives. The idea of a time-traveling wormhole is a beautiful and a gentle way to appreciate the profound and the simple gift of this one-way flow. It is a quiet and a beautiful thought experiment that, in its final gentle analysis, leads us to a deeper and more profound sense of gratitude for the simple, quiet and beautiful reality of our own. One-way journey on the great and gentle river of time. A wormhole is a quiet and beautiful place where this gentle flow is put to the ultimate test. It is a theoretical, geometric laboratory where we can explore the very limits of what time can do. It is a place where we can ask the deepest and most gentle of all questions. Can the river flow backwards? And the answer that the universe seems to give us, in its quiet, gentle, and deeply logical way, is a beautiful and a peaceful no. The river flows in one direction only. And in that simple, quiet, and unwavering answer, there is a source of deep, profound, and unending peace. The universe's quiet and gentle answer is one of profound and beautiful consistency. The universe does not answer our questions with loud and angry commands. It answers them with the quiet and beautiful consistency of its own, deep nature. The fact that time travel to the past seems to be forbidden is not a restriction, but a beautiful and a gentle truth. It is a truth that ensures that the universe is a place of coherence, of meaning, and of a single, beautiful, and unfolding story. It is the universe's quiet and gentle way of telling us that it is a place that we can trust, a place that makes a deep, quiet, and profoundly beautiful kind of sense, and that is a deep, peaceful, and wonderfully sleepy thought to rest with.
As you let your own mind drift through the gentle,
quiet, and beautiful passages of your own dreams, the universe is a place of beautiful and gentle rules, a place of quiet and consistent stories, and you are a quiet, gentle, and resting part of that beautiful story. So let go of all the questions, let go of all the paradoxes, and simply and quietly Allow yourself to float on the great, slow, and gentle river of time as it carries you now into the deep, quiet and peaceful country of your own deep sleep, and so our quiet, speculative journey through a universe of hidden pathways comes to its final, peaceful close. We have drifted through gentle, shimmering doorways, and we have floated on the quiet, deep, and mysterious river of time. The great cosmic what-if has led us not to a place of chaos, but to a place of profound and gentle order, a universe that is both more connected and more beautifully consistent than we had ever imagined. The journey is over now, and all that is left is the deep and peaceful sense of wonder that remains. We have learned that the universe is a story that protects its own beautiful telling, and that its deepest mysteries are often the most gentle and the most serene. The same gentle transition that would carry a traveler to a distant star is the same quiet passage that is now carrying you from the world of waking thought into the beautiful and secret country of your own dreams. The same quiet and beautiful rules that govern the flow of cosmic time are the same gentle, natural rules that are now inviting your mind and your body to find their own deep and peaceful rest.
So now let go of the journey.
Let go of the what-if. Surrender to the quiet, gentle, and beautiful rules of the night. Let the story of your day come to its own peaceful conclusion, and allow the blank, new, and restful page of the night to begin. Let yourself drift. Good night.